The end is near for Dan Snyder as owners make a preliminary vote, and Daron Payne is mad at Madden. All that on your 18 July Daily Commanders update here on Ref the District. Let's go. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to your Daily Commanders update here on Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. That's the Stoner. And we bring you all the great content, all the good news and bad news on your Washington Commanders every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Stoner, Wednesday wasn't listed there, but that's because we're live Wednesday. So you can catch us and join the discussion on our flagship program on Wednesdays. But today's Daily Commanders update, we got some great news for our Washington fans, whether or not you want to call them Washington Redskins, Washington football team, or Commanders. Dan Snyder is on the way out officially. It should be this Thursday, which we got a special guest for that. But as far as what's going on right now, Stoner, just to kind of get this out of the way before getting to the Madden ratings here, what happened late Monday? It was after we had already finished our DCU for Monday, but what happened on Monday in regards to the sale?
Well, they took like an unofficial vote of all of the owners to make sure that everything is in line. And once they get to the actual vote on Thursday, they wanted to make sure they weren't going to be wasting their time. Because if they find out it's going to be a no vote or the no's are going to win, then why bother meeting? Because that's just not going to do anybody any good. So they just did kind of an informal vote, and it's going to be pretty overwhelming. I'm guessing it's going to be like 30-1. And there's going to be like a Jerry Jones or something that's going to, he has to be the rebel.
All the NFC East does not want to see Dan Snyder go. So it might be, what is that, 28-3.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be over Thursday. Parties in the streets. Great point to just mention real quick before moving over to Madden ratings here. That preliminary vote happened on the 17th. That number might be lucky for Washington. Now it's 17th preliminary vote to get out Dan Snyder. 17 is Terry McLaurin. 17 was Doug Williams. Maybe that is the day that we end up celebrating. Probably not. It'll be Thursday, but we will celebrate with you. So make sure you join us there and our special guest. So we'll make note of that going forward. Let's get to the Madden ratings now.
Okay.
Because this is what is the buzz around town. A lot of people are really excited about this, but there's one person in particular not very excited, not very happy, and that's Daron Payne. He ended up surprisingly with an 83 overall rating.
Yeah.
Which feels a little low, and then it feels especially low when you consider Chase Young is at 85.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit disrespectful to Daron Payne. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like these rankings or why are we arguing about a video game number or whatever. But what we talked about yesterday still holds true today is that the players, they do care about it. And you saw with that Daron Payne tweet, he cares that his rating is so low and that he's being disrespected. They all know their ratings. Every single player knows their ratings on Madden. It's the most pop culture video game probably in the history of video games, aside from these first-person shooter games probably. But he knows about it, and he feels totally disrespected, and I feel disrespected for him. Don't you feel disrespected for him in 83 and behind Chase Young, who's done almost nothing compared to
that one's really hard to believe that he's behind Chase Young. I can understand if you're looking at the defensive lineman and you want to rate him as the 20th or 25th best defensive lineman, which I believe he's higher than that. But this guy just had a Pro Bowl year. He had 10 sacks as a defensive tackle. He just got one of the higher paychecks, which I get the market raises up. Sure. But I mean, he got paid with his peers who a lot of people consider better. And so that says something. But I mean, why I think the players think this matters to them is this is the court of public opinion. And if court of public opinion says this guy is mid,
that's right.
in his paychecks. Now he just got paid. Now he's using this as some fire out here because Daron Payne tweets out, "Can't compete in popularity contests. We get active for real," with a ninja emoji. And so I'm hoping it does motivate him a little bit to get kind of higher, because I've seen players do that where they've been like, no, Madden, you got to fix my rating here. Look at what I'm doing. And that would be something interesting to see. Going to continue with these ratings here on the defensive line, defensive ends, Washington wise. Now, there's a lot of confusion, Stoner, because a lot of misinformation's going out there. And I, at one point, had seen a list that had Jonathan Allen as the second highest defensive lineman rated in Madden, which I was blown away. And I was like, great, because they realized how special Jonathan Allen is. He's still rated pretty highly, 92 overall.
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, so he is the 10th highest NFL defensive lineman, which I think,
and that includes edges.
Yeah, that includes edges. He's third highest defensive tackle.
Yep, that's big.
So that to me says everything. Like, people do recognize him, and I appreciate that his rating is so high, because we beat the drum year in and year out that Jonathan Allen was playing at an all-pro level, not a Pro Bowl level, an all-pro level, which allowed Daron Payne to feast. Another partner in crime they have here is Montez Sweat, all the way down to 82.
Yeah.
A little surprised that he's that low.
Yeah. We've had a lot of different debates about a lot of these things. One big debate we had was the Chase Young versus Montez Sweat. Most people, at least that's my vibe that we got from all these discussions, most people would choose Montez over Chase. They think he's a better overall player, or better defensive end. And he got a lower rating than Chase did. And then Jonathan Allen, like you said, getting a 92 overall rating, which was, like I said, third best in the league at defensive tackle. That's massive. And then another thing was, remember when we did our tier listing? And I think the two biggest arguments that we got were defensive backs and defensive linemen. And if you look at where the four guys that we have on our defensive line in the NFC East, they rank 4th, 5th, 7th, and 9th. So we have four guys in the top 9 on the defensive line in the NFC East. And for Madden ratings, there's all kinds of rankings. It's
PFF or whatnot. Yeah,
there's a billion of them. But 4th, 5th, 7th, and 9th, that's impressive. If you look at the other teams, when you're putting their defensive line up there, the Eagles have 2, the Giants have 2, maybe 1, 2 or 1, and the Cowboys have 2, and the Commanders have 4. So there's no debate anymore. Just zip it with all your debates about who has the best defensive line in the NFC East. And if you have the best one in the NFC East, you probably have the best one in the entire league, because we all agree that the 4 teams in the NFC East probably are all top 10 in the NFL.
Easily.
So
very dominant defensive lines here in the NFC East. And it'll be interesting to see how has that progressed. But you're right. We'll be talking more about these Madden ratings and how we kind of fit in with the NFC East and how it stacks up against our rating, because our man Terry McLaurin, as we mentioned yesterday, was highest rated wide receiver in the NFC East. So we'll be taking all that into account on our Wednesday show. But don't stop that from letting you comment on what you think of the ratings. Do you agree that Daron Payne is an 83? Do you agree that he's below Chase Young? I want to hear from you in the comment section. Let us know. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and then join us live on our Wednesday show at 7:30 Eastern to kind of chime in with the defensive line ratings as well. It will be our Josh Harris party, as we'll be talking about the future. So make sure you don't miss out on that. But until next time.
Disrespected Daron Payne, you're going to pay the price.
Be a fan.